down Main Street. You're relaxed and feeling good. Next thing that you know, you'll see an octopus in the neighborhood, surfing on a sound wave, swinging through the stars. Take a left at Jimmy Testing, take your second right past Mars on the magic school bus. Navigate a nostril, climb on the magic school bus, make a plane turn two. On our magic school bus, drop the river of lava on the magic school bus. Such a fine thing to do. So strap your bums right to the seat. Come on in and don't be shy. Just to make your day complete. You might get baked into a pie on the magic school bus. Step inside, it's a wilder ride. Come on, ride on the magic school bus.
And click the go button when you're ready to play.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of
Type in your name
Lilbumblebear's
and
Let's
click
Play.
the go button
I'm
when you're
Kristen,
ready to
and I
play.
am here with a series that I loved growing up, both the show and the games. It's called The Magic School Bus with Miss Frizzle and all the amazing adventures they go on in their magical school bus. I had the VHS tapes growing up and the games, and I'm so excited to bring these to the channel. This is The Magic School Bus Explores the World of Animals. I hope you enjoy. Are you a Magic School Bus fan too? Let me know. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. My favorite character is Miss Frizzle, obviously, because she's always dressed up, just, her outfits are amazing. They always line up with the theme of each episode. For example, one of my favorite episodes is when they travel through space and she has like these little planet earrings. Oh my gosh, she is like the coolest teacher ever. But yeah, leave a comment down below sharing your thoughts, and of course subscribe for more nostalgic gaming. Check out the playlists in the description box to see other learning games. There might be multiple playlists in the description box. I'm not sure, because I want to make one for the Magic School Bus games, put this in the Microsoft category. I'm very organized on this channel. I'll figure out what to do. Anyways, enjoy, look for playlists. If you want to see more of these games, more will be coming soon. And I have a Twitter and Instagram you can follow. I have a streaming channel, and I have a Discord open to all you guys if you want to come hang out and chat. I do Discord streams in there. We post memes. It's a wonderful place. Go ahead and join. Check it out. Say hi. I'll say hi back. Okay, let's get started. Enjoy.
Then away we go!
I brought snack money for a field trip to the Wild Animal Park. Sheesh, hard to believe that Frizz is finally taking us on a normal field trip.
The way I see it, that remains to be seen.
These are my pet goldfish, fastball, shortstop, and slugger. My mom says I sleep like an elephant seal because I'm such a deep sleeper. She could practically sit on me and I won't wake up.
Wow, that lion's teeth look awfully big. It's a good thing too, since he's a carnivore and needs strong, sharp teeth to eat meat. Check out that water snake. If he's really still, he looks like part of the plant. That's called camouflage, and it helps him hide from both his predators and his prey. Scorpions are really awesome. Look at how they glow when you shine the right kind of light on them.
Amphibians and Reptiles by Ralphie. Click on a picture if you want to find out about slimy and scaly creatures. What's the difference between an amphibian and a reptile? Amphibians, like this frog, have slimy bodies and lay their eggs in the water. Frogs and salamanders need to stay wet because some of them actually breathe through their moist skin. Reptiles, like this lizard, don't need to stay wet. They have scaly skin covering their bodies, and the scales help to keep them from drying out. Reptiles, like turtles and lizards, lay their eggs on the land. So do snakes, but some snakes and even some kinds of lizards don't lay eggs at all. Their babies come right out of their mother's bodies, just like mammals. cold-blooded animals. Animals who need the sun to warm up their bodies are called cold-blooded. It doesn't mean these cold-blooded iguanas are cold, just that their bodies are the same temperatures as the air around them. For most amphibians and reptiles, like this crocodile, who's cooling off in the water with its egg, that works just fine. But maybe not for this little lizard whose feet are burning up on the sand. He's out of here. Slimy and scaly babies. This mother frog's tadpoles were born underwater. In fact, most amphibians, like frogs and salamanders, lay their eggs underwater so that their eggs don't dry out. But once they're grown, you can find amphibians anywhere, even gliding from trees, like this flying frog. Reptiles, on the other hand, like iguanas, skinks, and turtles, lay their eggs up on the land. When the babies hatch, their scaly skin keeps them moist, even in the desert.
Birds by Carlos. A report that is really for the birds. Or about birds, that is. Want to find out about them? Click on a picture. What makes a bird a bird? This is a bird, and this is a bird, and this is a bird. If there's one thing all birds have in common, it's feathers. In fact, they're the only animals that have feathers. Birds also have hollow bones and very light beaks instead of heavy teeth. And why do you think everything about them is so light? So they can fly. But not all birds can fly, like this big ostrich and these penguins. But most birds, all they have to do is flap their wings and take to the sky. Owls. Who finds its prey by using its hearing? The owl. Owls, like this barred owl, have really sharp hearing because their ears, which are hidden by feathers, cover the entire sides of their heads. And when owls fly, they are totally silent because they have fluffy feathers and comb-like edges on their wings. That way, they can hear their prey instead of the flapping of their own wings. And how about those eyes? They are huge. Owls' eyes take in enough starlight so that on a moonless night, owls can see as well as we can on a cloudy day. Bird beaks. Birds can't use their wings to hold things or even scratch themselves, so sometimes they use their beaks to do the job. This penguin is using its beak to feed its baby chick. When you take a look at a bird, you can also tell what it eats. Shorebirds, like this black-necked stilt, have long, skinny beaks, like tweezers, that they stick into the mud when they look for worms. Flamingos and ducks have beaks that work like sieves. The water runs out and the food stays in. Beaks also work as feeding spoons when mother and father birds feed their babies. And take a look at this hummingbird's beak. It works like a straw, letting the birds sip nectar from the flowers.
Wanda here, reporting on mammals. Just click on the pictures to check it out. What is a mammal? A mammal is a warm-blooded animal with fur, like foxes, seals, and zebras. Mammals come in all shapes and sizes, from little to giant. Some live on land and some live in the sea. But no matter where they live, all mammals breathe air. When mammal babies are born, they don't hatch from eggs. They're born live right from the mother. Mammals take really good care of their babies, and they feed them milk, just like these cheetahs. Rodents. Lots of small mammals, like this little mouse, are rodents. But some rodents, like this capybara, are huge. So what makes both of them rodents? It's their teeth. Look at him on this beaver. All rodents have big front teeth called incisors. 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. The curious thing about rodents' teeth is they keep growing and growing and growing. So rodents like this porcupine chew on hard things like nuts and wood to keep their teeth sharp. And it's a good thing they do, because without all that gnawing, their teeth would grow right out of their head. Hoofing it. Some mammals, like this pig, have to hoof it. Animals with hooves are called ungulates. All animals with hooves are related to each other. Zebras, horses, rhinoceroses, deer, camels, cows, and pigs are some of the mammals who are related because they all have hooves. Hooves are hard and flat and come in handy for running on hard ground. This tapir, like all toothed relatives, is an herbivore, which means it doesn't eat meat. All ungulates' teeth are big and flat. They're made to munch grass and leaves. Marsupials by Dorothy Ann. Click on a picture if you want to hear my report. Life in a pouch. Believe it or not, this is a baby kangaroo. It was just born and it's crawling up to its mother's pouch where it will nurse and grow. Animals that have pouches are called marsupials. Koalas are also marsupials. So are bandicoots, honey possums, and the tree kangaroo. Most marsupials call Australia home, including this cute potaroo. Opossums. The opossum is the only marsupial found in Australia who is also native to North and South America. An opossum's tail is prehensile, which means it can use it to grab onto things. It can even use its tail to hang upside down. If you went to South America, you'd see lots of different kinds of opossums, from big to tiny, like this little murine mouse opossum. Opossums eat fruit and any animals they can catch. Opossum babies stay in their mother's pouch for 2 months while they grow bigger and stronger. After that, they can go in and out. Sometimes they even take a ride clinging to their mother's back. Kangaroos. Kangaroos live all over Australia. They are great jumpers and can leap 30 feet in the air. The kangaroo babies, or joeys, can jump into their mom's pouch head first. These marsupials live in herds like deer. They kickbox for play and when they fight. There are 45 different kinds of kangaroos living in Australia.
Okay, guys, which one of these is the biggest mammal in the world? A blue whale or an Asian elephant?
The elephant?
Nope, the blue whale. In fact, the biggest one ever found was 110 feet long, big enough so 8 elephants could line up on its back.
According to my research, Miss Frizzle has never taken us on an ordinary field trip. And according to my prediction of the future, she never will. My report is on domestic horses, which means horses that are tame. I can't wait to go to the wild animal park. I want to ride an elephant. When it's garbage night and the trash goes out, I have an alarm clock that wakes me up in the middle of the night. It's a raccoon who thinks our garbage is its gourmet meal.
That's a longhorned beetle. There are lots of varieties of these guys, but one thing they all have in common is a huge appetite for wood when they're young.
Maybe Miss Frizzle forgot about our trip to the wild animal park.
Yeah, if we're extremely lucky. I've always worried about toads. Is it really true if I touch one, I'll get warts?
No way, Arnold. But you might get warthogs.
Carlos.
I did my report on my hamster, Scruffy. Scruffy is a rodent and is related to mice and rats, but I don't hold that against him. This is the report I did on insects. If you want to find out about the world of insects, click on a picture. What is an insect? Some crawl, some fly, but all have antennae and 6 legs. So what are they? Insects. Creepy, crawly, camouflaging insects. Some insects, like this dung beetle, are huge. Some are so tiny, you need a microscope to see them. The one fact that bugs me about insects is there are more insects in the world than any other animal family. Butterflies. People like me who don't like bugs make an exception for butterflies. This monarch butterfly is still wrapped up in its pupa stage, waiting to come out. It has spent weeks and weeks metamorphosing from a caterpillar. To metamorphose means to change. And here it comes, a butterfly breaking out of its cocoon. Just another few seconds and it's a colorful monarch butterfly. And why are butterflies colorful? The colors help them to attract a mate, and they also let predators know that they taste awful. And who would have thought something so pretty could taste so bad? Dragonflies. Dragonflies begin their life in the water, and they are awesome predators. When they're young, they can shoot out their jaw with lightning speed and catch other insects, or even tiny fish with their clawed lip. Talk about bug-eyed, or compound bug-eyed, that is. Compound eyes are actually made up of hundreds of tiny eyes that help the dragonfly see movement in all directions at the same time. That way, when they're flying, they can easily spot other bugs they want to turn into breakfast. Then zap! Dragonflies have been on this earth for millions of years. This fossil could even be as much as 300 million years old. At that time, way before the dinosaurs, some dragonflies had wingspans of up to 3 feet wide. Now that's what I call a big bug.
This is a report on fish by me, Keisha. Want to dive in? Just click on a picture. Something's fishy. Everyone knows that fish live in water, but what exactly is a fish? All fish have backbones, they breathe through gills, they're cold-blooded, and they have fins that help them swim. Some fish live only in salty water, and some only in fresh water, but not the salmon. When it's young, the salmon swims out to the ocean. Then when it grows into an adult fish, it swims back to the freshwater river where it was born and lays its eggs. The coral reef. Life under the coral reef sometimes looks like you're swimming through a rainbow of colors. It's also a safe place for fish to live, far away from the big, hungry open water fish like sharks and tuna. Saddleback butterfly fish like these eat the coral polyps that grow on the reefs. When saddleback butterfly fish travel together, it's hard to tell when one fish ends and the next fish begins. This long yellow trumpet fish follows the angelfish wherever it goes, and not because they're friends. When angelfish eat coral, it forces the small sea creatures who live in the coral to leave. When these sea creatures scurry out from the coral, the trumpet fish swoops down and grabs them. Amazing but true fish tales. Under the sea, there are fish and other creatures that are stranger than even I can imagine. Like these sea dragons who look just like the seaweed around them, making it hard for their enemies to find them. Clownfish, like this one, protect themselves by living inside stinging anemones. But for some reason, they never get stung. Father seahorses, not the mothers, carry their babies in a pouch. Sounds like a fun way to travel to me. Amazing but true fit. The report I did is on endangered animals. If you want to find out about these animals, click on a picture. Why animals are endangered. Many animals around the world, like this panda, are endangered. That means that they are in danger of going extinct, disappearing forever, like the dinosaurs. So why do animals like these manatees become endangered? The main reason is the loss of their habitat. Animal habitats are sometimes destroyed so houses and shopping centers can be built, or the forests they live in are cut down for wood. Famous endangered animals. There are some pretty famous animals that have been endangered, like this bald eagle. Animals that are still endangered include snow leopards, elephants, and humpback whales. The loss of habitat affects lots of other animals too, like the wolf, the Siberian tiger, and the mountain gorillas. It's sad to think that someday the only way we may get to see these creatures is in picture books. Help save the animals. Today, people realize that endangered animals need our help. Habitats are being saved, so rare animals, like this white rhino, can survive. There are also laws to protect them from being hunted. The United States national bird, the bald eagle, became endangered when DDT, a pesticide used on plants, worked its way into the eagle's food. DDT didn't kill the eagles directly, but it made their eggs break. When scientists figured this out, DDT was banned in the United States. Now that the eagle's eggs are no longer breaking, more and more eagles are being born every day and are growing into strong young birds. If we all keep trying, maybe some of the other animals who are endangered will make a comeback, just like the bald eagle.
My report is on invertebrates. If you want to find out about animals without backbones, click on a picture. No bones about it. This is an orb weaver spider, and this is a ghost crab. What do these two animals have in common? They're both invertebrates, which means they don't have backbones. Invertebrates, like this sea slug, have no bones at all. Invertebrates call many places home, like the starfish who lives in the ocean, or the scorpion with her babies on her back who lives on land. Some invertebrates live both places, like this red hermit crab. Right now it looks like he just moved into this cozy glass jar. And who said you couldn't live in a glass house? Slimy sea creatures. Some of the coolest and tastiest invertebrates live in the sea. Clams, crabs, and shrimp have shells to protect their slimy bodies. But some soft, slimy sea creatures protect themselves by having bright colors and tasting really bad. Their colors advertise, "Don't eat me." Sea slugs are as beautiful as butterflies and really squishy. They eat prickly sponges and stinging anemones. Spiders. Spiders, like this hairy tarantula, have fangs and 8 legs. These invertebrates spin sticky webs with their silk. All spiders are carnivores. Some hunt down their prey by jumping on them on the ground. And some, like this one, wait in their web and bam, moth dinner. Or she can wrap it up with her silk and save it for a midnight snack.
just one pet when you can have a whole farm. These are my ants, and they are amazing to watch. I was thinking about directing a movie about the life of a queen termite, but it's gonna have to be a really long movie because they can live for 50 years.
I did my report on my kitten, Mittens. She is a domestic cat, which means she's tame and she's a pet. But she's related to wild cats all over the world. I've never met an animal I didn't like, except for the time the bus shrank and we got eaten by that tuna fish.
You and me both. I don't even like looking at a tuna fish sandwich anymore.
Now there's a cat who's really got her paws full. Can you tell how many kittens she has?
Welcome to the Bone Zone. Call me Bones, Sherlock Bones. I see you've discovered a pile of bones. We've got to figure out who they belong to, or belonged to, I should say. You need to finish putting this animal's skeleton together. So, have at it. Bon voyage. Elementary indeed. Fine detective work. Case closed.
Okay, what pet is always found on the floor?
I don't know. What?
A car pet. My report is on Zoomer, my dog. There are several hundred breeds of dogs in the world, but there's only one Zoomer.
Here's my clipboard. Now, where is that net? There it is.
We need a net at the wild animal park?
Change of plans, Arnold. I got a call this morning from my friend who runs the park, Ms. Annie Malia. There's been a mix-up. 4 animals from the park were put back into the wild, but they were sent to the wrong habitats.
That sounds dangerous. Someone should catch those animals and put them back in the right places.
Excellent idea, Keisha. Class, it's time to take a field trip to the animal habitats across the world. Just click on the bus and we'll get going.
I knew I should have stayed home today.
Class, keep your eagle eyes open so you can be effective detectives. Bring the clipboard, Liz. We'll need it to check the identities of the misplaced animals. Let's take chances, make mistakes, and go exploring to the bus. You're about to take off on the wildlife ride of your life. To make it official, you need to make a quick stop at the Department of Driver's Licenses. To drive the bus, you need a driver's license. Click on the ladybugs to choose different features for yourself. You can add skin colors and textures by selecting the buttons on the leaves and then sliding the parrot up and down the vine. Then, when you're picture perfect, click on the back arrow and we'll be ready to roll. With a look like that, you'll blend into any habitat. Let's face it, you look divine. With a face like that, you could calm any jungle beast. Oh, my! It's the true face of a wild driver. With a face like that, you could calm any jungle beast. It's the true face of a wild driver. Let's face it, you look divine. Let's face it, you look divine. With a look like that, you'll blend into any habitat. It's the true face of a wild driver. With a look like that, you'll blend into any habitat. With a face like that, you could calm any jungle beast. the back of the bus. There's gadgets and gizmos aplenty here. I have only one rule when you're in the back of the bus, and that's to have fun. Welcome to the Gamatron. There's no game there yet. You've got to head out into the wilds to find it. Then it will appear here in the Gamatron. It's the Plastic Fantastic Experiment Machine. As I always say, the best way to learn is to experiment, make mistakes, and get messy. This Adaptomatic to morph or not to morph? That's never a question in my class, because as I always say, to know an animal is to be an animal. Help my class learn what it's like to be an animal. Take chances, experiment, go wild! Just click on the arrows to pick a kid and an animal to morph together. Survive in the forest. This jaguar Spot's come in handy to camouflage her so she's rarely seen by other animals. It helps her blend into the forest and allows her to stalk and catch prey without being seen. Bowser or Spot might have a tough time surviving in the forest, but the gray fox has developed a talent for climbing trees. It's a skill that helps her find food and escape from predators. Voila! It's a white-footed mouse. She builds her nests in holes, which give her shelter from the weather and the many predators that live in the forest. In the forest, we have a bird of a different feather, the sharp-shinned hawk. She has a special long rudder tail that lets her fly quickly through the thick trees. Add to that her amazing eyesight and sharp hearing, which help her to catch the prey she needs to survive. Cats named Fluffy and Kitty may not care for water, but take a look at the fishing cat. She's a whiz in streams and rivers where her webbed feet make swimming a snap. The only dogs that have adapted to water are pet dogs that have been bred for hunting, like water spaniels and golden retrievers. Alakazam! It's a muskrat! With all this water to swim in, survival is easier for this cousin of the rat. The muskrat's webbed feet make her a super swimmer, allowing her to escape from predators. With all that water, webbed feet come in handy, and that's just exactly what this loon has. They give her the extra get-up-and-go she needs to paddle through the water. Since this cat can't pop down to the local shoe store to stock up on winter boots, the lynx has feet like built-in snowshoes that let him hunt for prey in the snowy Arctic. If a dog's going to survive in the icy cold Arctic, it needs to have a heated doghouse or a thick enough coat, just like this wolf. I no longer smell a rat. I spy a lemming. His snowy white fur helps him keep hidden from predators in the frozen Arctic. In summer, his coat turns brown, once again allowing him to blend into the tundra. I no longer smell a rat. Thirsty or Tweety would have a tough time surviving in the Arctic, but not the ptarmigan. It's a hardy bird whose feathers change color with the season, camouflaging him from predators. And with feet like snowshoes, he can make quick tracks over the snow. When you live in the desert, you have to fit in, or blend in like this bobcat. Her tawny coat helps to camouflage her so she can catch the prey she needs to survive. A dog in the desert? That would be the coyote. Its light-colored coat helps it keep cool and allows it to blend into its desert habitat, protecting it from danger and helping it to hunt. Pet rats need water. Put them in the desert and they'd be thirsty. But not this kangaroo rat. He can live in the dry desert because he doesn't need to drink water. He gets all the moisture he needs from the food he eats. A dog in the desert? That would be the coyote. Its light-colored coat helps it keep cool and allows it to blend into its desert habitat. A parakeet might not find enough to eat here in the desert, but the roadrunner dines on a gourmet feast. He lives on a diet of delectable lizards, and his speedy running skills help him catch all he needs to survive. Eating down the food chain, woo! The food chain is all about who eats what and who eats whom and in what order. Click on the things on the left side of the screen and drag them to the chair in the correct order to see what happens. If you need help, click on the question mark.
You put it...
Then a mouse sits down and he goes to town, munching on that nut till it's downward bound.
Make no mistake, here comes a snake who swallows that mouse like a rodent cupcake.
The food chain's done when in the owl comes. He eats the snake before you count to 1.
Food chain, eating down that funky food chain. Start with phytoplankton. It's my...
A strange dinner, yes, that's really for certain. The copepod comes in the phytoplankton, it's curtains.
Here comes the fish with its eye on the dish, and in one gulp, those copepods are pulp.
A penguin waddles in, it's dressed to kill, devours the fish till he has his fill.
Like the polish off the penguin, it's a Weddell seal at the very tip top of this funky food chain deal. Food chain, eating down that funky food chain.
According to my research, that's algae so green. It's really very slimy, if you know what I mean.
Next in the chain comes the buzzing mayfly. It's the absolute truth, I surely wouldn't lie.
Now tell me who eats that little mayfly. Looks like the salmon's gonna give it a try.
A cooked salmon dinner sounds tasty to me, but the old sea lion likes it raw, you see.
At the peak of the chain, I'll tell a tale. At the top of this heap is the orca whale.
Food chain, eating down that funky food chain. Start with some grass. It looks so delicious. Who do you think will find it nutritious?
The caterpillar, yes, you got it right. Watch as that grass goes out of sight.
Then swooping on down is a feathered blue jay. Scarfing down the caterpillar, it's a bug
the bird wished it stayed home today.
Food chain, eating down that funky food chain.
Start with an avocado, it looks so yummy. Who do you think wants to put it in its tummy?
Next in the food chain comes the toucan. Just call it one big avocado fan.
Keep your eye on the jaguar. It's a hungry cat. Gobbles up the toucan and nothing flat.
I found this chain, meet the anaconda snake. Hard to believe it doesn't get a bellyache.
Food chain, eating down that funky food chain.
It's time for dinner, so don't be late.
Moving up the food chain, it's a zebra with stripes. Munches on grass and thinks it's out of sight.
When the zebra's not looking, up comes the lion. For the king of the beasts, a zebra satisfying.
Now at the end of this chain, or it's been said, the vulture eats the lion, but the lion must be dead.
Food chain, eating down that funky food chain.
You put a nut on the plate, and you...
In the wild, it's an animal-eat-animal world. Many animals hide by camouflaging themselves, blending into their habitat. Both prey and predators alike use this handy method to avoid detection. Up on land or down in the water, camouflage is the name of the game. Now you can try blending these animals into their surroundings by clicking and dragging them to their natural hiding places. If you need help, you can click on the question mark. That's not the best place for that animal to hide. Try. Uncommonly commendable camouflaging. Isn't nature wonderful for providing coats and environments that match? If you want to camouflage animals in another environment, click on one of the pictures down below. Uncommonly commendable camouflaging. Isn't nature wonderful for providing coats and environments that match? If you want to camouflage animals in another environment, click on one of the... Da-da-da-da! I hereby declare that all the animals have been successfully camouflaged. If you want to camouflage animals... Ever want to conduct an animal chorus? Well, here's your chance. You can choose from any of the 5 animal families shown at the bottom of the screen. Then click on any of the related animals that will appear on the screen to see and hear it do its thing. You can click on the different animals to hear their sounds at the same time. It's a real chorus of critters. It looks like frogs 4, princes 0. Click on the chorus frog, bullfrog, gray tree frog, or spring peeper to really get this place hopping. Something tells me our fine feathered friends have a real treat in store for you. Click on the duck, toucan, whippoorwill, and blackburnian warbler for a real song fest. These animals all have hooves, which means they belong to the ungulate family. If you want to hear what they have to say, click on the zebra, warthog, deer, and wildebeest. Let's listen to these members of the dog family. Click on the wolf, coyote, fox, and dog to hear their canine chorus. You could say these critters are the cat's meow. Click on the lion, bobcat, jaguar, and leopard to have a roaring good time. Welcome to Dr. Frankenstein's lab, a place where you can tinker with Mother Nature and create your own creatures. Click on the pictures at the top of the screen to choose a skin covering, a type of beak or teeth, and limbs for your creature. When you're ready to see what you brewed up, click on the power switch, then presto! You may discover a strange creature never before seen, or your combination may create a real live wild animal. Feathers, grinding teeth for plants, and flippers. Check out the features on that creature. It may not exist in the wild, but it's looking like a wild thing to me. Scales, beak for crushing, and fins. And it's a coral-chomping, beak-nosed parrotfish. Slimy skin, beak for ripping, and wings. Fur, slicing teeth for meat, and webbed feet. It's a real-life river otter. In the natural world, it's often a fight to the finish for food. So some animals use armor to protect themselves, like this snail and crab. And who wins if you pit the crab against the snail? It's the crab, hands down, who eats the snail, because the crab's got the stronger shell. But here, you can control the thickness of the crab's and snail's armor, making it thicker or thinner by clicking on them. Then, click on the bell and see what it takes to make the snail survive. Here we have the crab with its heavy claw, about to take on the snail, protected by a medium shell. Chalk up one snail snack. It looks like that medium shell wasn't protection enough for that snail. Now we have the crab with a light claw pitted against the snail wearing a pink shell. A draw! The snail doesn't have a scratch on it. Looks like the crab took a bit of a beating. And there's no snail dinner this round. To survive in the wild, it takes more than good animal instincts. It also takes teeth and feet. To see what I mean, click on either teeth or feet at the top of your screen. Keep it in you! Charge ho! Hard hooves like this rhino has are built to last and meant for speedy running on hard ground. Life isn't ducky on hard ground for a web-footed friend like this duck. And if you ask me, she looks like a duck out of water. Curved claws aren't the perfect design for charging fast on hard ground. As my great-aunt Millie used to say, if there's curve in your claw, you can't cha-cha-cha. Some hoofed animals can swim for short distances, but hooves are not the ticket for swimming in the water. It looks like this poor rhino is definitely in over his head. Excellent observation. Webbed feet and water make the perfect combination for paddling through the water. That fellow's having a bear of a time staying afloat with those curved claws. I can hardly bear to look. Uh-oh. As far as this hoofed animal is concerned, living in the trees is for the birds. That poor duck is headed up a tree, but there's no way she can make it. Those flat webbed feet can't cling to the bark or branches. She's going to be in trouble if she doesn't watch out. Ah! Too late. Now that bear is up a tree quite happily. Those curved claws are custom made for climbing. Grinding and slicing teeth like this raccoon has make this fish a tasty treat. With flat, grinding teeth like that, that beaver would have to work all day and then some on a steak like that. Now that is one happy lion. His slicing teeth are custom made. Teeth that let an animal like this raccoon grind and slice open up gourmet opportunities. They let them eat both plants and meat. Grinding teeth are perfect for chomping trees. But as for that steak with teeth like that, it's gotta go. The perfect food for an animal with slicing teeth. But when it comes to bark and greenery, he's got the wrong teeth for the job. With teeth that grind and slice, this raccoon has it made. Take one beaver with grinding teeth, put it in a world of plants and trees, and what do you get? One happy beaver. Poor guy. He'll never get a bite to eat here with those slicing teeth. Time to take chances and get creative with our eco posters. There are lots of stickers to choose from. Want to add some animals from the habitat to the mix? Here's a hint. Every time you click on an animal out in the wild, you'll earn a sticker of that animal here in your book. Want some animals to put in your habitat? First, you have to go... Want some animals to put in your habitat? First, you have to go back into the wild and find some. click on an animal out there, and it shows up in here. Want some animal?
I'm Weird Owl Factovich, and do I have some weird old facts for you? You bet I do. Factorini 1. The slowest mammal in the world is the sloth. It takes a whole minute for it to travel just 6 feet. Time yourself and try it sometime. Woo! Almost slower than watching corn grow.
Use this clipboard to get clues about the misplaced animals by clicking on the question marks in the net. Here's a clue I hope you'll understand. This reptile buries its eggs in the sand. Here's a tip. Take it from me. This reptile prefers living in the sea. The final hint that I will tell, this reptile lives in a big green shell. Find this animal, and I hope you have fun as you search for one who likes to bask in the sun. The hint is this. It would be worthwhile to keep on the lookout for a giant reptile. Perhaps with this hint, you'll know what I mean. Watch out for a toothy smile and skin of green. Ever see one of these picking bugs from its fur? Look high and low, you'll find it, I'm sure. Here's something Ms. Annie Malia wrote down. Search for a long-tailed creature with fur so brown. This animal has fingers like you and me, which help it pick up food and swing from trees. Here's the first clue that you will need. This animal doesn't drink water. It eats only seeds. As you search through habitats, try to spy a tiny creature who can jump quite high. Here's the final clue, and you can't go wrong. Look for a small rodent with a tail quite long. Think of the globe on the steering wheel as your personal travel agent. Click on it, and you can pick the place. These tools will come in handy in your investigation. When you're in the great outdoors, use this to give magnification to nature's. Pick your first step. That's where we are. North American swamp.
Aren't there lots of mosquitoes in the North American swamp?
Of course, Arnold. The frogs need something to eat, you know.
So do the mosquitoes. And I have a feeling I'm about to be dinner.
Say hello to the North American swamp, where the world comes alive at night. Lucky for you, the moon is full to bring light to these mysterious wetlands. Okay, it's time to step through the door and start to explore.
Help Arnold gobble up those delicious flies by moving him around the pond. All you have to do is click where you want him to go. But watch out for those hungry, snapping turtles. They just love to have him for lunch. If Arnold really gets in trouble, you can click on one of the lily pads and he'll hop up there. But be careful. He can't stay there for too long. Need help? Click on the question mark.
Here goes nothing.
In my old school, the kids in my class never turned into bullfrogs.
I wonder if my parents would let me transfer to your old school, Phoebe. This is the report I did on.
That's a channel catfish. Some people like it deep fried with tartar sauce, but in the swamp where it's alive and swimming, it hunts at night for worms, crayfish, and small fish.
That duck doesn't look real. Are you sure it doesn't have a wind-up key?
Not unless it's a wind-up, ruddy duck. They look like toys, but they're real all right.
Bonjour! You did it again. See what you can make of it this time. It's a rough one. Rough, rough. No bones about it. That's a turtle. You get the Sherlock Bones tail wag of approval. Case closed.
The American bittern is actually a kind of striped heron. Those stripes come in handy because they help to camouflage him in the swamp.
It's a good thing we're here this time of the year, because in the winter, the Parula warbler wouldn't be here. It migrates to the tropical forests in South and Central America. According to my research, the kangaroo rat never ever drinks water. It gets all the water it needs from eating dry seeds.
Now picture this. Toads can lay up to 8,000 eggs. When the tadpoles hatch, schools of them stick together in the water, and it looks like the swamp's filled with black ink. Dorothy Ann, here's something to add to your research. Never suck on a toad. When they're threatened, they ooze out milky liquid that's poisonous.
Thanks, Tim, but I don't have to check my research to know that toad sucking is a bad idea.
Want some animals to put in your habitat? First, you have to go back into the wild and find some. Click on an animal out there.
I bet that snapping turtle has some sharp teeth. Cricket frogs are a kind of tree frog. The snapping turtle, just like other turtles, is a reptile. Snapping turtles need to eat the insects, frogs, worms, and other things that live here in the swamp. So this turtle needs to stay right where it is.
Use this to give magnification to nature's hidden secrets.
Parula warbler eggs. It's a bubble frog, a spring peeper. Whenever it makes its call, its throat puffs up like a big balloon.
Cricket frogs are great jumpers and can leap over 3 feet in the air. That would be like a kid jumping as high as a 20-story building.
I'm in love with a big bullfrog. A big bullfrog, that's me. Ribbit, ribbit. How does the Cope's tree frog cope with being potential breakfast for other swamp animals? It's the chameleon of the swamp and can change colors from brown to gray to green faster than you can say ribbit.
What kind of bird was that?
It wasn't a bird, Phoebe. It was one of my cousins, a gray tree frog. At least the Cope's tree frog has time off from being eaten by other animals. When it hibernates in the winter and early spring, nobody tries to turn it into dinner.
That's a muskrat, and it's related to a beaver. It even builds its lodge out of sticks and leaves in the swamp, just like a beaver does. At my old house, we had a family of white-tailed deer living near our deck. White-tailed deer live lots of places, including most of the U.S. and South America, and parts of Canada. Muskrats live in lodges they build in the middle of marshes. The swamplands are also known as marshes, so this muskrat must belong here. The gray tree frog loves to eat all of the bugs that breed here in the swamp.
Nope, the Cope's tree frog is...
Excellent observation. This is certainly no place for a kangaroo rat to hang its hat. Everything around here is much too damp. Now, how about finding its proper habitat? It's true that in the African savanna, You really nailed it that time. Oh, you certainly are alert. Get ready, little kangaroo rat. You're bound for the Sonoran Desert. It's time for destination migration. My old friend Helencopter is standing by. Deliver that kangaroo rat to the Sonoran Desert where it's hot and dry. Thanks, Helen. Outstanding! 1 animal found and 3 to go. For finding and sending one animal to its proper habitat, you've earned the honorable Nature Ranger Scout Award. If you'd like, you can print it out to remind you of your noble deed.
Hey, frog eggs! I wonder if they're going to hatch. Whoa, it's a tadpole. Wow, that's amazing. My, what big eyes and ears that barred owl has. The better to see and hear with at night when it hunts for mice, snakes, and frogs.
Make no bones about it. There's more to the world than meets the eye. Use these X-ray glasses to examine some of the skeletons. Use this microphone to listen to some of the sounds the animals make. Ever see one of these picking bugs from its fur? Look high and low. You'll find it, I'm sure. Find this animal, and I hope you have fun as you search for one who likes to bask in the sun. The hint is this. It would be worthwhile to keep on the lookout for a giant reptile. Choose North America's Sonoran Desert.
In my old school, we never went to the Sonoran Desert.
Well, at least you won't be able to say that about your new school, Phoebe.
I spy a saguaro cactus. That means we've landed in the North American Sonoran Desert. And as I always say, if you can take the heat, get out into the desert. As my great-aunt Doris once said, you always learn more if you walk through the door.
Welcome to the #1 game show in the animal kingdom. It's Scat Soundtrack, and I'm your host, Scat Stevens. Before we get started, let's sign in. Will you be playing a 1-player game or a 2-player game? 1 player it is. Okay, here's the poop. Scoop. We have 3 categories: scat, sounds, and tracks. Pick and click on one of the question cards under a category and see if you can answer it correctly. Scat it is. Ooh-wee, I hope you know what scat is. It's ordinary, everyday poop. Doo-doo, droppings, feces. Everybody makes it. It's the thing we all do. Now, here's your question. This one's worth 20 points. Here's a fine specimen, and in it, I detect crab shells and some tiny pink clam shells. Any ideas who left this little present behind? Positively right. It's the seagulls. Time to pick another question card. Scat it is, a popular category. This one's worth 30 points. Now here's a load. It's peppered with what once was a delectable combination of berries, leaves, and some fur from a ground squirrel. Any ideas who left this brown bear? It is. Pick another question.
Poop-poopy-doop, poop-poopy-doop. The scat category. This one's worth 50 points. It's scat, all right, and in it we can see grass blades, grains, and seeds. Yes, it is rabbit poop. Congratulations.
Time for the next question. Sound it is. We all know many animals communicate by using sounds. Now listen closely and see if you can identify who made this one. This one's worth 20 points. Take a listen and tell me whose call this is. That's right. It's the hoot, hoot, hoot of the great horned owl. Now, let's go to another question. The sound category. Okay, listen up. For 30 points, take a listen and tell me whose call this is. On the money. It's the chirp of a field cricket. Now, let's go to another question. The sound category. Okay, listen up. Tell me for 50 points. Listen to this. All right, I wouldn't be lying if I told you the lion is the right answer. It's time to pick another question. Tracks. Ah, yes. Let's see if we can find out who left these tracks behind. Tell me for 20 points. Okay, Junior Tracker, who left these tracks behind? You tracked it. Those are indeed wolf prints. Time to pick another question card. Tracks it is. This one's worth 30 points. Now, track down the animal that left these tracks. Sensational! A sidewinder rattlesnake it is. Okay, now for the final question on the board. Tracks. Let's go. For 50 points. Which one of these animals left these tracks behind? Yow! You got it. The tracks of a domestic cat. And that's it. You cleared the board. Let's see how many points you racked up in this game.
Do you want to play the game again?
That's all for now. Come back anytime and test your knowledge of animal scat, sounds, and tracks in the Animal Kingdom's favorite game show, Scat Soundtrack. This is Scat Stevens reminding you that you know the poop.
Meet the tiniest owl in the world who lives in the biggest cactus in the world. Elf owls live in holes in saguaro cacti. A Gila woodpecker pecked a nesting hole in a saguaro cactus. How many nesting holes did the Gila woodpecker peck?
One?
Yep, and get this. After she pecks that hole, she won't come back and move in for a whole year. Wanda here, reporting on the Coatimundi, sometimes called the desert raccoon. Coatimundis are part of the raccoon family, with an awesome difference. Instead of having a big bushy tail, it has a skinny prehensile tail that it uses to grab things. Coatimundis fight.
Bonjour! You did it again. See what you can make of it this time. It's a rough one. Rough, rough. No need to pick a bone with you, if I'm not mistaken. It's a lesser long-nosed bat. In my eyes, you will always be the Bone Master. Case closed.
Is it just me, or is anyone else rattled by rattlesnakes?
It's not just you, Ralphie. Rattlesnakes are venomous snakes, and if they sink their fangs into you, it could kill you.
Oh, great. Do I feel better? I don't think so.
Can you believe it, Ralphie? The spadefoot toad spends 10 months out of the year hibernating underground.
Whoa, and I thought I slept a lot. The peccary is a wild pig who can live anywhere from the desert to the rainforest. As long as it's warm, it's a peccary place. The lesser long-nosed bat. In baseball, I've used a long-necked bat, but never one with wings who's got a nose like that. Besides, my bat isn't endangered, and this one is.
First, here's how the Gila monster catches its prey. First, it flicks its big black tongue in and out of its mouth, smelling to see where its prey is. Then, chop! The Gila bites its victim. And then, like a shot, it injects the venom.
Meet my buddy, Bobcat. Bobcat for short. His mom didn't name him Bob. He's named that because he's got a short bob tail.
For humans, surviving in a desert means bringing along a canteen. But the animals who live here have adapted to the hot, dry weather. How? They don't need to drink much water, and most of them beat the heat by sleeping underground or in cactuses during the day and coming out to eat at night. Sounds like a plan to me.
Faster than a professional racehorse. It's the black-tailed jackrabbit.
Want some animals to put in your habitat? First, you have to go back into the wild and find some. Click on an animal out there, and it shows up in here.
According to Ms. Frizzle, peccaries can live lots of different places.
Bobcats like to fill up on Jack. Some coatimundis still live in the desert, and others live in rainforests. This one looks happy right here in the desert.
A scorpion. Its sting can sometimes be deadly, and I don't know about you, but that sure bugs me.
Brazilian tropical rainforest.
According to my research, opossums live in the rainforest. Maybe I can see what it's like to hide in an opossum's pocket.
Stranger things have happened. Welcome to the Brazilian tropical rainforest. It's a jungle out there, not to mention a soaking wet one, so don't forget your hats. Time to step outside, take chances, and get messy.
Red alert! Poison dart frog dead ahead!
You're not kidding about the dead part, Ralphie. The Choco Indians use the frog's poison on their hunting darts to hunt animals. Personally, I wouldn't mind if this howler monkey's native habitat was my bedroom. He'd make a great alarm clock. But it turns out that the rainforest is where he belongs.
Bonjour! You did it again. See what you can make of it this time. It's a rough one. Ruff, ruff. I believe that's the skeleton of a bona fide howler monkey. If I wasn't a dignified dog, I'd lick you in appreciation. Case closed.
Is it just me, or is it not too safe to go into the water?
I wouldn't touch that water with a 10-foot pole, Ralphie. That's a piranha. A freshwater river fish known to eat through a 250-pound capybara in less than a minute.
And I thought I was a fast eater. The capybara is the biggest rodent in the world, cousin to Arnold's hamster.
And big enough to eat Arnold's hamster.
Maybe, but just like Scruffy, the capybara is a vegetarian.
An animal's neighborhood is called a habitat.
Well, I call this habitat hot, dark, and wet.
I, Keisha, the baby anaconda, am about to be passed from snake to snake in this game of swingin' snakes.
Keisha's going to need help to get to the other side of the river. That's where you come in. When you click on the snake holding Keisha, it will pass her to the next snake. You have to make sure the next snake is close enough to catch her, otherwise Keisha will fall in the water.
Don't worry, I can swim.
Hey, it's your wet snakeskin, Quiche. And if you need some help along the way, just click on the question mark at the bottom of your screen. Here's a hot tip. Make sure you click on the snake holding Keisha at just the right time when it's swinging towards its next door neighbor. Remember, you can make the game easier or harder by clicking on the levels button. Oh well. That tapir looks like a pig.
According to my research, Carlos, they're not related to pigs at all. They're relatives of horses, zebras, and rhinoceroses.
Check out that ocelot sitting up in the tree like the queen of the rainforest. Ocelots spend a lot of time up in trees, hiding from predators and trying to catch birds.
That snake isn't an ordinary snake. It's a fer-de-lance, a very poisonous pit viper, as in, one bite and I'm viped out.
Talk about a wake-up call. The howler monkey is the loudest land mammal in the world, and he makes sure everybody knows it. Every morning and evening, he says it loud and says it proud.
Meet Banana Bill. That's what some people call the toucan because of his big beak. With a bill that big, I think Banana Boat Bill would be even better. Fish-eating bats are called fish-eating bats because they're bats that eat fish. Big surprise, huh? But they're also called bulldog bats because they look kind of like bulldogs with their big swollen lips.
That bird looks like it's ready to take off.
Entirely possible, Ralphie. Blackburnian warblers leave the rainforest every spring and spend their summers in the northern U.S. and Canada.
They fly about 7,000 miles.
Whoa. And I thought my arms got tired playing basketball.
If Liz could talk, she'd tell you that the ability to smell and taste is what keeps reptiles informed and safe. Reptiles have two ways of using their sniffer. They smell through their nose, and they use their tongue to taste scents in air. So when you see a reptile sticking out its tongue, it's not being rude. It's smelling and taste testing the air. Well, ta-ta!
According to my research... Peekaboo, did you know opossums are one of the few marsupials in the Americas? Check out this bromeliad. A spider and a tiny tree frog are living inside it. Leaf beetles never have to worry about food in the rainforest, since all they eat are leaves.
Where to now? That's where... The African Savanna. The African Savanna.
Aren't there lions in the African savanna? I knew I should have stayed home today.
Ah, the African Savanna. It must be the rainy season, and that's the reason the grass is long and green. But come the dry season, that grass will turn as brown as the fur of a wildebeest. We have company. Or more precisely, I think we're the company. Let's go outside to have a look around.
Flamingos eat lots of tiny shrimp and algae. The oil from the shrimp makes their feathers turn pink. It's a good thing eating grape jelly doesn't make my hair turn purple.
The snub-nosed monkey is a primate who is a very playful and social animal.
Bonjour! You did it again. See what you can make of it this time. It's a rough one. Rough, rough. A giraffe skeleton. Elementary indeed. Congratulations. Case closed.
At my old school, we were never surrounded by wild animals.
Your old school is sounding better all the time, Phoebe.
The cheetah is the world's fastest animal. For short sprints, they can go 70 miles an hour. because they have long legs, a flexible spine, and a big heart. If this guy was on the freeway, he'd get a speeding ticket. Okay, do cattle egrets ride on the backs of big mammals because they want a free ride, because they're trying to keep their feet warm, or because they think the animals are a chain of fast food restaurants?
It would have to be the last one, Tim.
Yep, they like to pick ticks off the animals' backs and call it dinner. And for that right answer, you win a free beak full of bugs.
Zebras are really just like horses with stripes. And just like horses, they have hooves. But instead of whinnying like horses, they bray like donkeys. I hope we can find all those poor animals. I bet they miss their homes.
We'll find them, Phoebe, if we have to search every corner of the globe.
But a globe doesn't have any corners. It's round.
Don't get technical, Arnold. Elephants have no natural predators, and you want to know why? Because they are so huge. Nobody but nobody wants to mess with someone the size of an elephant.
Okay, true or false, Wanda? The spotted hyena is called the wild dog of the savannah. Dee 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 dee.
True?
Nope, false. He may look like a dog, but you can't judge an animal by its cover. The spotted hyena is actually a cousin to the mongoose.
Here I am in the African savannah, among the animals that tend to eat each other. I have a sinking feeling I should have stayed home today.
There are so many cool animals here. I could spend the whole school year sketching them.
Maybe the Frizz will let you stay behind and finish up the 3rd grade here.
On second thought, maybe I'll just try to remember what they look like and draw them when I get home.
That cute little spring hare looks like a tiny kangaroo, is named after a rabbit, and is actually a giant mouse.
Hey, Phoebe, if I sketched the front of an ox, the back of an antelope, and added a horse's tail, what would I wind up with?
You'd get a wildebeest, Tim.
That big kitty sure looks happy.
Big kitty? It is a kind of cat, Arnold, but technically, it's a leopard.
Kitties eat food from cans. Leopards eat monkeys. Personally, I'm much happier thinking of it as a big kitty. Lions are the biggest cats in Africa, and they hunt big herds of animals. I wonder if 4 kids count as a herd.
That green mamba snake is a reptile who's poisonous, but fortunately is also very shy.
Warthogs are swine, and like their cousin the pig, they don't have much hair on their bodies. Boy, oh boy. I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but warthogs sure are ugly.
Giraffes can stick their tongues way out, curling them up to grab leaves. Prehensile is what the Frizz called it. And how far can they stick them out? Far enough to look way up inside their noses.
What an amazing nest. That's the home of the black-headed weaver bird.
Welcome to Big Game Tag, where the game is to tag animals who have something in common. And how do you tag them? By clicking on them before they duck out of sight, and before you run out of tag or time. But be careful, because not all of the animals who pop up and down match the category. Okay, let's start tagging. Rodents are small mammals with 9 front teeth that keep growing their entire lives. So keep your eagle eyes open and get ready to tag the rodents. Great job! You tagged the rodents. Because rodents have teeth that grow all their lives, they gnaw on food to keep them trim and sharp. Time to move on to a new category? Here it is, animals.
That termite lives under that skyscraper of mud. The termites build that tower to keep them cool underground. eat this orange brine shrimp, and it makes their feathers turn pink. Zebras roam the plains and eat the Zebras are like me. They like Zebras are diurnal, which means they sleep during the night. But whenever they're sleeping, one zebra stands guard.
That's a cichlid fish. There are lots of different kinds of them in African lakes.
Here's a clue I hope you'll understand. This reptile buries its egg. Perhaps with this hint you'll know what I mean. Watch out for a toothy smile and skin of green. Like a habitat. Circumpolar Arctic tundra and ocean.
Check this out. We're headed for the Arctic tundra. I'm glad I brought my new down jacket.
That and the thrill of the adventure should keep you warm and toasty, Tim. We've just come in for an icy landing in the circumpolar Arctic tundra. Bundle up, super sleuths, and leave no iceberg unturned. Be sure to check under the water, too. There's a whole new world to explore down there. Outstanding deduction. This is hardly the place for a sea turtle to live. It's much too cold. So, where do you suppose its habitat could be? A sea turtle. The water's plentiful in the... Brilliant deduction. You figured it out. That turtle belongs in the South Pacific. Time to send that sea turtle back. Hats off to your judgment, scientific. Ready, steady, go. Fly that turtle to Tonga in the South Pacific where it can warm up. Thanks, and have a safe journey. Sensational and inspirational. Just 2 more misplaced animals to find. It's the esteemed Dynamite Detective Award, given in recognition of your achievement in finding and sending 2 animals to their proper habitat.
One of the only animals living in the tundra that hibernates is the ground squirrel. I don't know how the other animals take it. If I lived here, I'd hibernate all year.
Check it out, the North Pole. Everything's so cold and white.
Yeah, like the tip of my frozen nose.
I ought to tell you that it's utterly fun to be an otter. Arr, 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 arr.
Meet the wood frog. It's the only amphibian living in the Arctic.
Puffins are similar to penguins, except they can fly.
Bonjour! You did it again. See what you can make of it this time. It's a rough one. Rough, rough. That is one whale of a skeleton. An orca whale, to be exact. That was rough. Case closed.
Meet the wood frog. It's the only amphibian living in the Arctic.
That fox sure looks tiny.
It's tiny. The caribou is a larger and wild version of the domestic reindeer found in Europe. You won't find the domestic reindeer here in the Arctic.
The polar bear has a thick, waterproof white coat and a lot of fat on its body to protect it while it swims in icy cold water. It's the biggest of all the bears, over 900 pounds.
Wow, I bet he'd give a heck of a bear hug. We otters may be the smallest mammals in the sea, but we sure know how to have fun. Playing is very important to us sea otters.
Wimbrels have the right idea. They spend summers in the Arctic. When things get too cold, they head south.
Incoming! For some animals, hibernation is the only way they can survive the cold of winter. When winter hits, insects aren't active, plants stop growing, and some mammals take a long winter nap so they don't starve.
What's that penguin doing here in the North Pole? They live in the South Pole. I bet anything that penguin wishes he stayed home today. Well, little fella, I can't go home right now, but maybe you can. It's up to you. Start by helping the penguin jump from iceberg to iceberg by clicking on him just when the iceberg comes cruising by. And watch out, because the things that pass by change and get faster and faster. If you need any help, click on the question mark. See ya!
I'm so hungry, and practically all there is to eat here are icebergs. Hey!
Wow! Arctic tern eggs! It's hatching! Those are snow fleas! Whoa! Look at them go!
Oh no, that was my stomach. I hope that wasn't loud enough to cause an underwater avalanche.
Good thing we're wearing these wetsuits, Ralphie.
Yeah, so our clothes don't get wet.
Without these suits, we'd be frozen solid in 2 minutes. That's how cold this ocean is.
Not too many fish can do what the salmon does. They can live in fresh water and salt water. Now that's what I call fat.
Yes, and it's a good thing. Technically, it's called blubber. 6 blubbery inches of it all over the walrus's body to keep it nice and warm.
Bonjour! Back again? Go to it, Bone Master.
Check out that humongous fish.
That's no fish, Ralphie. It's an orca whale. It's actually a mammal. It breathes air, it's warm-blooded, and it nurses its babies.
Hard to believe the sea anemone is actually an animal. It even eats fish. known as a sea star.
Want some animals to put in your habitat? First, you have to go back into the wild and find some. Click on an animal out there, and it shows up in here.
That looks like my hamster Scruffy. Only it's a collared lemming, a rodent that's all over the Arctic.
Want some animals to put in your habitat? First, you have to go back into the... Choose a destination. The Himalayan Mountains.
Is it just me, or would anyone else rather be going to a baseball game?
It's not just you, Ralphie.
Oh, there's nothing like a little thin mountain air to help me hit the high notes. Take a look at that. The Himalayas. The biggest mountains in the world. Well, as my great-uncle Mike used to say, there's no sense sitting around when you can put on your boots and take a hike.
At my old school, we never went on field trips to visit venomous snakes. Fortunately, although the adder is poisonous, it can't kill humans.
Phoebe, you sure know how to make my day. It's an animal's nature to survive and to thrive. Mine is to stay home as much as possible.
The highest mountain in the world is right here in the Himalayas, Mount Everest. It's over 29,000 feet high. That's as tall as 9,700 kids standing on each other's shoulders.
What's with that fan doohickey on that hoopoe's head?
Hoopoes open that up when they land on something, or when they're angry or excited.
Anyone know what's brown and hairy and really dangerous?
What?
A yak on a skateboard.
More kinds of sheep live in the Himalayan mountains than any other mountains in the world.
Bonjour! You did it again. See what you can make of it this time. It's a rough one. Rough, rough. That's it. You pieced together a hoopoe bird. Congratulations! It was a rough job. Case closed.
Look at that little red raccoon. It's so cute.
Sorry, Arnold, that's not a raccoon. It's a red panda, cousin to the raccoon and to the giant panda. And don't get too close, it's very shy.
That's a snow leopard. I guess he must like to hang out in the snow all the time.
No, just some of the time. He likes to be in the mountains in the winter and the meadow in the summer. Marmots are rodents. Big squirrels that are related to woodchucks.
Oh, it looks like it's related to my cousin Chuck. No animal lives higher up in the Himalayas, or even the world, than the yak, who is the cattle of the mountains.
That ibex is a kind of wild goat. Kids need hiking boots to make it up mountains like that, but ibexes have split hooves that help them climb.
Giant pandas can only live right here in these bamboo forests because mostly they eat lots of bamboo, up to 20 pounds of it a day. Here's how you play this round of tile menagerie. Find matching pairs of animals and their babies. Then, click on them to clear the tiles from the board. But here's the trick. You have to make sure that at least one edge of each matching tile isn't touching anything. So it looks like you could slide it out. When you've matched all the tiles and cleared the board, you've won the game. You did it! To be or not to be? That is the question. But it's no question that lots of bees live here in the Himalayas. A Parnassus butterfly. It's amazing that butterflies can live here in the Himalayas, where it's usually so cold.
Want some animals to put in your habitat? First, you have to go back into the wild and find some. Click on an animal out there, and it shows up in here.
That's the fish-eating owl.
And don't tell me, Quiche, it eats fish.
I always thought you were brilliant, Carlos. Now I know it.
Want some animals to put in your habitat? Pick a habitat. South Pacific Island Reef. South Pacific Island Reef.
I can already feel the sea breezes and smell the salt in the air.
I can feel the warm ocean breezes of Tonga, the island paradise in the South Pacific. If you remember to pack your inquiring mind and your sunscreen, then you're ready to explore. Be sure to check under the water, too. There's a whole new world to explore down there.
Bonjour! You did it again. See what you can make of it this time. It's a rough one. Rough.
I smell a rat, or at least I see a rat. A Norway rat. What in the heck is a rat doing here? All the way from Norway.
Many years ago, that rat's ancestors stowed away on boats from Europe that were coming here. When they arrived on the island, they jumped ship. It's easy to find the same kinds of birds living in different places, but this Tongan whistler can only be found in Tonga. Here's a puzzle for you. Unscramble this mess by clicking on the puzzle pieces and dragging them to where you think they should go. Each time you move a piece, it will switch places with the piece that's already there. If you want to choose a different puzzle, just click on the arrow buttons on the screen. And if you want to make the puzzle harder, just click the levels button on the bottom of your screen. All right, you did it! Isn't that baby tiger cute? He'll stay with his mother for 2 be able to hunt and kill when he's just 7 months old. For the next puzzle, just click on the arrow on your screen when you're ready to start. The blue-crowned lorikeet is a kind of parrot that's found only in the tropical islands of the South Pacific. That's a Pacific wreath heron, and according to my research, this bird lives all over the South Pacific.
That is one big bat. The Tongan flying fruit bat has a wingspan that's 4 feet wide. Watch out, Batman. Here, piggy, piggy, piggy. Or is it hoggy, hoggy, hoggy?
According to my research, pigs are hogs and hogs are pigs. They're the same thing. Only the babies are always called piglets, never hoglets.
Whoa, it's a bat colony. Sorry. I hope it doesn't drive you bats when we're looking at you. What a ratty-looking rat's nest. Some spiders spin silk so long that they can travel on it, blowing from island to island in the wind. What a way to travel.
Many mammals on the South Pacific Islands. Since they couldn't migrate to an island by themselves because of all this water, most of them were brought here on ships a long time ago by people. Wanda here with an underwater report. This water is warm and salty. I'm glad I brought my scuba gear.
What's a fish? Most fish swim in water, breathe through gills, have scales, and swim using their fins. And I don't mean the rubber kind Wanda's wearing.
Symbiosis. It means animals working together as partners. A bird sits on an animal's back and picks out bugs. It gets the animal clean and the bird fed. It's the I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine marvel of the animal kingdom.
Wow, this is cool. Just a minute ago, I saw another green sea turtle just like this one, lay her eggs up on the sand, then swim away. This turtle must be right where it belongs. It's Wanda here, reporting on the green sea turtle. This turtle spends most of its time in warm, shallow ocean water, and only comes out to lay its eggs in the sand. Those bright colors on the sea snake are a big-time warning to other animals. Stay away, they say, I'm poisonous.
Something's always fishy under the sea. Fish were the first vertebrates or animals with backbones. Today there are over 21,000 different kinds of fish swimming in the oceans.
Glad to see you're back.
Guess I'm officially a parrotfish, and for the moment I'm living with a school of fellow fish in the coral reef.
Snails spend their days eating all the algae that grows on the coral. Wow, a giant clam. It eats lots of algae. That's why it grows to be so big.
There are 7 habitats to find this animal, and I hope you have fun as you search for one who likes to bask in the sun. The hint is this. It would be worthwhile to keep on the lookout for a giant reptile. Perhaps with this hint, you'll know what I mean. Watch out for a toothy smile and skin of green. School. Where's your Arthur coming in?
That bullfrog shouldn't be sent anywhere. It needs all this fresh water to survive.
This is the chorus frog's native habitat, so I don't think we should send it anywhere else.
Where to now? North America. Back in the... On the nose, or should I say, on the snout. That alligator certainly doesn't belong here in the dry desert heat. So, where do you suppose this scaly creature goes? Bingo! Destination North American swamp, where it's warm and damp. See you later, alligator. Hats off to you, Super Sleuth. Only one more animal to locate and send home. Wahoo! You're a bodacious animal detector. This award has been presented to you for your valiant efforts in locating and sending 3 animals back to their proper habitats. There are... Ever see one of these picking bugs from its fur? Look high and low. You'll find it, I'm sure. Here's something Ms. Annie Malia wrote down. Search for a long-tailed creature with fur so brown. This animal has fingers like you and me, which help it pick up food and swing from trees. Pick a habit.
According to my research, opossums live in the rainforest. Maybe I can see what it's like to hide in an opossum's pocket.
Back to the race.
We don't need to send that animal to another habitat because it's...
Where to now? Back in the Savanna. Excellent deduction. The Savanna is much too hot and dry for this snub-nosed monkey. Let's see if you can discover where it really belongs. The snub-nosed monkey could live here, but it would be the only one of its kind. There must be another cool habitat. Search, and you shall find. The app in the Himalayas. Take this snub-nosed monkey back to the cool, crisp air of the Himalayas. Excellent job! You've returned all of the misplaced animals to their right and proper habitats. And for that, you've earned a certificate of excellence. Master Rescue Hero Extraordinaire. Master Rescue Hero Extraordinaire. Presented for your outstanding achievement and acts of caring and daring in locating and returning all 4 animals to their native habitats. All 4 of the animals are present and accounted for. But if you'd like, you can start the game all over and look for 4 more animals. What do you say?
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay of the Magic School Bus, going to all the different biomes and learning about the different animals. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and of course subscribe for more nostalgic gaming. Don't forget to check out the playlist in the description box. Until the next video, remember you are special and loved, you are never alone, and you're always welcome to come back and hang out anytime. Until the next video, God bless, I'll see you all later. Bye-bye, my friends.